Hello, FlossTube Stitchers. Shelly here at Just Stitching, and I must say, I love it when a framing customer pays for their framing and then accidentally leaves it here. But it's okay because it was an Easter piece and she wasn't going to put it up at home anytime soon. So this is Easter Parade, designed by Blackbird Designs and stitched by June Abel. And I think I kind of figured out, yeah, if I hold it slightly sideways, there's not as much glare. And she stitched both designs on the chart on one piece of fabric. And June is somebody who has loaned us many things over the years. She's a beautiful stitcher. And I also kind of felt like it was timely because we lost Barb Adams on July 4th. She's half of the design team for Blackbird Designs. I'm sure you already know this, but what's interesting is that, or what's silly, is that I never noticed that their designs were individually marked with their name. For some reason, I had the impression that they were all collaborations, but I don't even think they live in the same state. So anyway, that was kind of news to me. I went through a number of the charts trying to figure out which of the designs might have been Barb's and which is Alma's. And I couldn't tell by the charts that we had in stock right now. And on the cover page, it just has both of their names. This is from 2005, and maybe they did collaborate back then. Of course, they are both very well known and well respected and loved in the needlework community, and so Barb will be missed. And of course, all of our sympathies go to her family, but also to Alma, who lost a really good friend and business partner. So I thought it was kind of timely that that was the stitch that I was going to show you. It's also kind of a vintage stitch, but I did have one of my own to show. So this is Prairie Schoolers Bear and Bees. And this was one of their first, they called them promotional cards. So they weren't free, but I think the size they considered a promotional introduction to their larger designs. So hopefully Hoffman will reproduce this someday, maybe in a leaflet with a few of the other cards, but this would have come out in the same size card as the Prairie Schooler Santas. So anyway, I stitched that on 14 count fiddler's cloth a long time ago. It's not dated or initialed, but this is the piece that I was thinking of with all of the bees. Remember when I showed you the Prairie Fairy and I said I stitched it because I thought it looked like bees? I don't think so. I stitched these so long ago that I think I just forgot. I did that one because it was sunflowers, and sunflowers and bees go together. And now I'm going to show you a video of the grouping in which this is has been a permanent member of since we moved into our current house. And I think I got confused as to which one had the bees following it. So this is a grouping of sunflowers and bees. So enjoy. This is the hallway between the door into our garage and the laundry room. Right now, I'm kind of standing in the doorway of the guest bath. I love this Longaberger organizational unit that I hung on the wall, and when we first moved here, I thought I was going to use the basket for mail and the shelf maybe for my husband's wallet when he comes home from work, and the hooks on the bottom for keys and leashes. But that's not how it turned out. We found other places for those. So now I just used it for decorating. And on the shelf, I have a little pillow with a bee. It was a free chart. I'm going to look for that, see if I still have it. This is one of the Blue Whale wooden blocks that I love so much. The Let It Be sign, I believe, was from Hobby Lobby. Never actually used that cookie cutter for cookies. The shepherd's bush pillow was a gift from a friend. Hanging on the hooks are, let's see, a rusty ornament. And the stitched piece was actually made for me by Sue Staley of Seekers and Company. It's one of her 50-cent charts. She was my secret stitcher, I guess, one year in our stitch group. I don't remember who the designer was. It could have been Cedar Hill based on how old that was. This is one of the perforated paper Mill Hill kits. I love doing those. That one has so much texture. This sunflower and bee design was from Fancy That. We carried a lot of their designs, and they happen to be a mother-daughter duo based in Ohio. And don't you love, the bees are just 2 little black beads. That plaque was probably from a craft show. There's the Prairie Schooler, Bear and Bees. And these little bees were stitched using just 2 gold X's and a black bead. Very simple. You could add those to any design. I can't remember whether this was a gift or whether I bought it at a craft show. This was another Christmas gift from a secret stitcher, a different stitcher, and I don't know the designer. She stitched it on the navy blue Heatherfield, which was very popular back in the day. Another mold. I love 3-dimensional things and mixed media in my groupings. And there's the Prairie Fairy that I talked about several videos ago. Thanks for watching. Okay, this is the new chart parade part of the video. We received a few automatics this week. The first is from Heart and Hand Needle Art, and this is part of her Merry Making mini series called Flower Fun. It's $7. She shows it finished in a little hoop. It could also be done as an ornament or a box top. Oh, and without showing you the chart, it includes the little wooden bee button. Then Halloween Square Dance 2 has 3 more designs in it. You can either put them together in a horizontal row or a vertical row, or you could end up with all of them on one big piece of fabric if you have a space that could take a big Halloween design. Then we got the latest in the Sunday Stitches series from Heartstring Samplery. This is Abide With Me. This is her series of hymns, and these are all 10. They're all still available, but only from shops that participate in her automatic. Stitching with the Housewives had September from the calendar crates. It's 10, and it has both of those designs in there. Pumpkin Pickin' Day. This is on a basket, which is a really sweet finish if you want to put it on a door or have a bigger space to fill. And Scarecrow Bakery. And Jack-O-Lantern Jubilee came from Brenda Gervais. And there's actually 6 designs in here, so there's 3 shown on the front and 2 shown on the back. And I'm not showing you any chart, but the little pumpkin witch is the 6th design that you can't see just by looking at the covers. So that's 20 for all of those designs. Then from It's So Emma, I'm actually very excited about this product. I can't wait to try it on a finish, but she came out with finishing dots, and they come in 2 sizes. This pack is 11, the small dots, and then this pack is 17. There's a lot of dots in here. This will take you very far in finishing. And I think it might be easier for maybe an inexperienced finisher like me. It might be easier to handle than dealing with a long strip of the sticky tape that can end up where you don't want it. So I'm very excited about that product. And then along with that is the Vintage Strawberry Mini Cutting Mat. And I think she might have called it strawberry because it's 2-sided, so one side is the pinky color and one side is this is the front though, one side is green. It's a self-healing mat, and this itself is 6x8. You can't iron on it or anything like that. This is strictly for cutting. But anyway, that'll probably make its way to my home as well. Now I'm going to show you some other things that happened this week. So this happened. I was turning the close sign around on our front window and saw this raccoon wandering across our parking lot. And I was so surprised I had to go grab my iPad and ran out here trying not to make any noise because I didn't want to scare him away. But the way he's walking, he looks old or drunk or malnourished. And I was worried for him because he's heading towards the street to go into the woods. And I was both fascinated and horrified at the same time because it's rush hour, so there's a lot of traffic going by. But I did watch after I stopped filming, and luckily, since it's still daylight, the cars actually stopped to allow him to cross safely, so no worries there. It is nearing 10 o'clock p.m., obviously, on Friday evening, and I've been trying to leave for almost an hour, but it will not stop raining. And my husband just called and said, why aren't you home yet? And I said, because I'm gonna get soaking wet. And he goes, so you're gonna get a little wet? And I'm like, I've been doing mail order packages. I have people's boxes and padded envelopes and manila envelopes full of product, and they can't get wet. So I'm looking for a big garbage bag or something. Actually, what I might do is just run out and get wet, bring my car back to the edge of the sidewalk, and then throw the packages in so they won't get too wet. But anyway, this is the life of a shop owner. My Hoffman order also came this week, and I have a funny story about last week's order that didn't arrive until this week as well, because apparently there were enough items missing from the order that it was small enough to be put in a FedEx 2-day air envelope instead of a box, which is kind of disappointing because people were waiting for things, and I really always cross my fingers that things are in stock that I need. But anyway, the world is still like that these days, with things being on back order for a lengthy time. So anyway, the 2-day air is supposed to be delivered before 10 a.m. Even my previous hours opening at 10 a.m., I wasn't here to receive those types of packages. Usually UPS and FedEx come in the afternoon between like 2 and 3. So I never had any issues getting orders before. Now that I open at noon, it's a little bit dicier, but I have a mailbox outside for the mail. So anyway, FedEx Express tried to deliver my package 3 days in a row. Well, not in a row, but Friday, Monday, and Tuesday before 10 a.m. And I'm like, aren't they looking at the sign on the front door that says I don't open till noon, or even that I don't open till 10? And they don't come back around the same day because I think they're done. I think FedEx Express finishes earlier in the day than the normal FedEx driver. And the FedEx driver came through, and I knew I was supposed to get a package, and all of a sudden he was gone before I could even get out the door to accept a package. Then another FedEx driver came later in the day. I forget what day that was. Well, I guess it was Friday. And he was the driver that I knew, and so I chatted with him for a few minutes, and he checked and he said, no, the other driver doesn't have it on their truck. And then when I explained what it was, he said, no, that's FedEx Express, and we're two different companies. So needless to say, I hope that they never send another 2-day air package, because it did not come in 2 days, so it wasn't worth if they paid extra to send it that way. And it took me another half a week to get it. But anyway, this is this week's order, or maybe it's a combination of the 2 weeks. Now I don't remember. I just pulled out one of each new chart to do for this video. So Primrose Cottage Stitchers has Spring House for $6.50 and Summer House. And Puntini has When I Think of August, and I'm still waiting for When I Think of July from the distributor. I may just have to order it from her direct during the next Needlework Expo in August, but anyway, and this includes the little bee button, her little Fimo Clay bee button. I also ordered September, and it didn't come. Scattered Seed Samplers has Remember Me Pin Keep. And you could probably do that flower in any color you want, but I do think it's very attractive and kind of vintage Victorian looking in the black. This is the only one I think that was in stock at the distributor from Hello from Liz Matthews. My home in the garden. So I have the other ones on reorder. Luminous Fiber Arts has Counting is Hard. And Farm and Midsummer Song. And then Prairie Schooler had a re-release, a book called Father Christmas for $12 that has quite a few little Santas on there. And then Tiny Modernist had Moon Phase Bell Pull, which I thought was very interesting. All right. Okay, and this was the giveaway from last week. And I used the random number generator, and the winner is Paulette Sanders, and she said, I would stitch it for my friend of 40 years. We met at a church Bible study and connected over our love of crafting. She asked me to teach her how to cross stitch. The pattern she picked was a Precious Moments on waste canvas on a diaper bag. A very ambitious first project, but she did an amazing job. We have stitched together all these years and have been to many retreats together. So I thought that was really sweet. So Paulette will get that. All she has to do is email me her contact information. And this week's giveaway, I have to confess, I forgot to pick something. So I should have mentioned this when I was showing the new product, but I decided to give a set of these 3/4 inch finishing dots to somebody this week. There's 240 of them, and the retail value is $11. So if you do your own finishing, or you would like to gift this to your finisher, please tell me in the comments if you finish your own work, or a funny story about a finish gone wrong, or who you use for a professional finisher. So do that, and you'll be in the running next week for this package of dots. Okay, I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for letting me know, either by phone or email or by coming into the shop, that you watch me, but you don't comment because you don't have a Gmail account. So that's okay. Continue to watch. There are other ways of letting me know that you appreciate it, or have a question, or want to place an order. Oh, and before I forget, Debbie Miller had asked what this design is. And I did answer her in the comments, but I thought maybe other people were wondering the same thing, because this designer doesn't produce any new charts any longer. I don't think I know her name, but the design company is Prairie Grove Peddler. And the chart is still available from a print to order distributor, so I can still get these charts. And when I can't, I'm taking that home because it's mine. It can go in any one of my 4 patriotic rooms at home. But I thought maybe other people might have had the same question, since it is an older one, and maybe she wasn't as well known as other designers, so that might have been new to you. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks. Or they could be put in. Woo! whew, okay, take a breath and start over. And this is 13. Why do I always do that? Why do I always do that? Okay. I don't have a giveaway. I forgot to pick a giveaway for today. Yikes. What am I going to give away? What am I going to give away? What am I going to give away? What am I going to give away?